family. All right. Boy, it's like a factory back here at Memory Bound. We've got a big surprise for you today, and you might recognize the style of these amazing cards, and then you'll know what the surprise is here at Memory Bound. And you know what? Nancy is the first one to join us, and so is Janet. Yay, Janet's here, everybody. So welcome, Janet. We're so glad. Janet's back in Iowa, everyone. She came north.
I did. We headed north.
You Texas people came up north to see us.
And I'm so happy to be here.
We are too. We love to see you in person. We talk to Janet, and we sometimes see you remotely on location, but today Janet's here, and it's really special because she's launching her latest card kit.
That's right.
And Janet, before we talk about it, I just want to make sure everyone knows it's very limited due to the product. So we weren't able to make quite as many kits as we normally do, just because of the product limitations for what we had. But she's going to tell us all about her cards and maybe update us on what's been going on down in Texas.
That's right. Yeah.
And, everybody's saying hello and welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Karen's here, and Billy Sue and Cindy, and there's Bunny from Omaha.
Awesome.
And a Diane. I say a Diane because there's probably several Dianes
One
here.
of our many Dianes.
Yeah. And Rebecca and Hope is here, so hello, Hope.
Yay.
And Hope, I was in Kansas City last weekend, so I was in your fine city for a little bit, a few hours. And our own Becky is here, and
Yay.
Linda's watching. And Linda, we got your message on your order this morning, so we've got that here. And our Peggy's watching, and we mentioned Nancy, so we have a lot of people saying hello, Janet.
Well,
Janet doesn't
hello.
see your messages, but she's happy that you're happy.
I feel them in here, Kelly.
Yes, of course. And you know what? Not only do we have Janet, but we have the new Elizabeth Crafts release. So we're going to show that first.
And I haven't seen it, Kelly.
And you
so
haven't
I'm
seen it, so
super excited.
let's go check it out.
Let's do it.
And it's over here. Diane checked it all in yesterday. We have 2 stamps that are arriving today or tomorrow. So there are 2 stamps that are not here yet, but they will be. And this is a David release. And
Do you want to start with the paper,
Yeah, let's
Kelly?
start with the
Okay.
paper. This is the art journal, coffee dyed papers, and it's a paper pack from Elizabeth Crafts.
My favorite coffee dyed.
I know. We needed this for our coffee celebration, but Janet's going to show you the different papers.
My ears have perked up when you said coffee.
I bet. This is $13.99, and it's got 12 double-sided sheets, and they're repeated but randomly. So you might have a certain style on the back of one paper, and then it might be on another paper.
Yeah,
so
I see what you mean.
That's kind of what they do. They're tricky.
Yeah, and this sometimes looks like my desk, Kelly, when I spill my coffee.
When you spill
I
your
don't
coffee?
have my lidded coffee.
Now,
happens.
this is what I thought was pretty cool, these cut-aparts.
Ah.
And just so you guys know, Diane has already reordered this.
Wow.
We have quite a few, but she reordered it, and it'll be coming either tomorrow or Friday. It'll be, I'm going to say back in stock, but it's not out of stock.
Oh, this is really cool stuff. Love it.
Oh, you know what? Jerry is so happy to catch a live, so maybe she hasn't been able to watch our live. So Jerry, we're super happy you're here.
Really nice, practical paper. And I think this would all be really good for Heritage, Kelly, which is on my mind.
It would be very nice for Heritage. It's got that sepia tone.
Right.
And if you look in deeply, can you look deeply at paper?
I can look
You can
deeply.
see the little kind of lettering in there.
Yeah, really, really pretty. And that kind of a blue-gray.
Diane was
nice.
we flipped through this,
yeah,
and she was
it's
really
beautiful.
excited.
Really, really
Especially
nice.
start cutting this apart, and you're going to get pieces of, and I love the cut-aparts.
Cut-aparts are great. Yeah,
I think they're really nice.
really beautiful.
So, like if you start cutting into this and you're cutting out a piece, you're just going to get, unless you're doing like a 12 by 12 layout, you're going to get some very interesting patterns.
Absolutely.
Everybody says, hi, Janet.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm super excited to be here. I mean,
Oh.
you have no idea.
We're happy too.
I
It's
mean,
the second time you've been here this year.
It is.
And she's possibly coming back again in the
Possibly.
fall.
Yes, I just miss my peeps. It's really good to be with people that speak the language of paper.
Well, and it's funny
and all
because
of that.
people walk in, our staff that's walked in today, they walk in and they see Janet, and I don't know that everybody knew you were going to be here, and they're like, Janet, Janet.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. I'm only here briefly this morning.
She's
so
here for a couple
I'm
hours.
on a mission, and then we're back to Texas.
Janet, I'm going to come around to the other side.
Okay.
And then let's start with the dies. Let's see what we've got.
I'm seeing this for the first time, Kelly.
And this is the Journal Sleeve Fillers 1. And Cheryl is here. Cheryl, you're a doll.
Cheryl, thank you so much. Substitute linker and drinker. I hope that you have your beverage of choice, Cheryl, and that you're linking and drinking without spilling your beverage of choice.
And this is $31.99. Oh, I'm sure she is. Man, there are a lot of dies there.
There are.
I don't even want to count them. And I don't think they tell you how many dies are on there. But that is the Journal Sleeves Filler 1.
And what I like about these, Kelly, is some of the corners are even notched for you, which gives you a totally different look. And then what's this? It's almost like it's torn.
It's like little skinny strips.
Which are already pre-torn for you. Some of us are tearing impaired.
Some people don't like to tear paper, like Janet.
Some of us.
But you have torn paper. I've seen it.
I have torn, but for those of us who feel tearing impaired, this is a really good alternative.
And what's our next one there? That looks interesting.
Oh, this is an ATC.
So it's the classic ATC.
Oh, Kelly, this would be fun. What a cute little pocket that would make, even if you don't want to make it into an ATC. That's a great practical die. And the little labels.
And they're stitched, but if you look closely, it's a little bit bigger stitch than what you see on a lot of dies, and a very ornate piece there.
Wow, let's take a look at what's on the back. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I love how they show samples.
I have trouble visualizing what it's going to look like until I look at the back.
And this one is $26.99.
This is super cool. But, you know, ATCs, you could use it for ATCs, but so much more, I think.
And it's compatible with a stamp set, and the stamp set we don't have yet. That is coming. So there is a stamp set. You know, you might be wondering about this and this. There's a classic stamp set coming, and that will be arriving tomorrow. I don't think it's going to make it today, but probably tomorrow or Friday.
It must do all of this stuff, right?
And we have a question about what is an ATC, and an ATC is it 3x4?
About that.
About 3x4, and it's kind of a place to do your art projects. I mean, not to do your art projects. It's a surface, and it's a size, and they're collectible, and people like to. Like Diana had a demo on those.
If you go back on our blog, there's a whole post about Diana's beautiful ATCs. ATCs stand for Artist Trading Cards. And I think back in the day, Kelly, people swapped them. And I think they still do.
You can do swaps and all kinds of things. And there goes Diana right now. Diana, you want to say hi? She's our ATC expert. And like Janet... and she's already got these, so she'll be showing us some samples, I'm sure.
Yeah, beautiful. Fun stuff.
All right.
Okay.
So watch for the stamp to come. Oh, what is this one? Okay, this is called Remember, and this is a die set 2159. And this one is cool because you got a 2-layer camera and an airplane.
This would be great for travel. Okay, Kelly, I cannot read that word.
I'm guessing it says... we'll read it later. Let's look on the back. I bet it's on the back.
Yeah.
They always have good samples on the back. And I will have to read that later also. I think is it that too blurry.
This one, remember? This one says remember. Okay, right here. This one in the corner, kind of the stacked letters, corresponds to this one here. And this one says remember. The other one,
I think it starts with an F, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, so we will have to hold this up to the mirror and read it. But the whole collection from David, I believe, is called Remember, and this would be the main die set.
I'm getting a travel vibe from this one, and I think this would be really fun for your vacation memories. For sure. Ooh.
And this is Romance. So this is 2160 Romance.
And how pretty
Very
is
ornate.
That? And look, part of it is the shape of an envelope, and part of it is cut out. That is super cool.
So that one is $26.99, and it does have some words on it and things. So see how they just clip that piece on there? Okay, there's the piece you're talking about.
That is super cool. I love those round pieces too, Kelly. Because just a circular piece just is a nice way to break up. A lot of times we use rectangles all the time, and circular pieces really add a little something.
All right, we've got some help here, Janet.
Oh, good, Kelly. Not a moment too soon.
Heidi says that this says remember.
This one says remember.
Oh, moments. I'm sorry.
Moments. Okay.
She says it says moments.
All right. Excellent.
So we'll thank you, Heidi.
Thank you.
It's hard to read on the fly.
It sure
quite
is.
honestly. Oh, and here is another one. These are your reinforcers. And let's see, what is this one called, Janet?
Planner Essentials Reinforcement Pack 3. This is super cute, Kelly. Look at the little scissors. Oh, and are those onesies?
I think those are onesies.
Are.
You could probably cut them off and make T-shirts out of them.
Crowns,
there's
trees,
your coffee cup for the
cup.
linkers and drinkers.
Yep.
And that one
Very
is $22.99, and they're made so you could put them on a ring if you wanted to store them that way.
Right, and if you enjoy mini albums or even just making tags, these are a great way to just add another level of detail to your pages or to your tags. And here you can see them in action here. How cute!
I like
is that?
how you said see them in action.
Yeah. I think that's so cute. And look
It's
how
a
they
little
used them
crown.
here, Kelly. Not even on.
Just little embellishments.
Yeah, and here and
Very
here.
cute.
Just randomly scattered. That's really fun.
Super cute.
Love it.
And then I think these are probably reorders here, but this one is the toolbox.
Oh yeah, perfect. Father's Day coming up.
And that one's $20.99, and I remember thinking how adorable this is, because look at that cute little box, and they fill them with the tools.
It's really cute.
You know, that is good for Father's Day, Janet. It took me a few minutes for your comment to register.
If you have a
I'm a
guy
little
in your
slow.
life who enjoys tools,
Letha said she might need the coffee cup reinforcements.
I think it's I could use a coffee cup at reinforcement myself this morning. Hotel coffee is not what I'm accustomed to. Yeah,
All right.
this is really great.
That's super cute. And then the stencils that Janet's grabbing, this is new, and this is part of David's release, and it's stencils 4, and it's $12.99, and you get 4 stencils, and they are big.
Oh wow!
Here, I'm going to step back because you can see Janet's holding the package.
Yeah, so golly,
And
they're
they're the size of a planner,
Right,
is what I'm
right.
kind of thinking.
Those are
So
really
here's the
neat.
design for $12.99. And there you go. There's all your words for traveling.
Yeah, I love the words because we don't often see words like that on a
Yeah,
stencil.
I like that too.
And this one has 2 things going on, which has a sunburst and then another kind of a sun ray thing, which is really a fun way to use that. So cool.
Marcy says that's why there's Starbucks, Janet.
That's true, and it's right across the street. Before we leave town, I think I might have to make a stop.
We're going to ask we're going to ring the bell and ask Diane. I don't think these are new, but we're going to. Okay, Diana, expert number 2, just came in. These are not new. They're just a reorder, and it's the set number 3.
All right.
And now we have the stamps, so let's check those out.
Oh my goodness, Kelly, I feel weak. I love these.
Donna, I'm sorry, you guys, this is a squirrel moment, but Donna is so funny. She says, I bet Doug would get you a coffee when he picks up Kelly's coffee.
Maybe.
And I have to tell you that, you guys, Doug's golfing today, so I had to get
So
my own.
there's
I got a
no-
lemonade today.
No hope of room service
No,
coffee
there
here.
isn't at all. So this is $23.99, and again, it does have all your travel.
Around the world stamp and dies. Love, love, love this. Very, very cute. For
And
your around the world travel.
That's right. For my around the country travel
Right.
ahead. I really like this one, Janet. It's called Textures. And I believe these are all $12.99, these stamp sets.
Very cool. I love a good grid, and that just makes a nice
You love a good grid?
I do, Kelly. I'm into
That's
the
really
grid thing.
funny.
And that would make such a fun background. Just stamp it, and then even just put a die cut over the top of it.
It would, just to,
gives
absolutely.
a little something in the background.
Something, something.
Yeah.
Now, all of these are online, and if you go to memorybound.com and go to shopping and go to new, and you'll see Elizabeth Craft's new releases, and they are all in there. Oh, who wants to go glamping,
I love
everybody?
it.
Happy camper. Oh my gosh, magical place.
So travel phrases.
Dream, discover, travel. So these are the stamps
Yeah.
called travel phrases like Janet just said.
And $12.99.
And again, this is part of David's release.
Yeah, these are really fun.
Now there's 2 stamps that we didn't get, and one of them is postmarks, and you're going to love it too. It's amazing. And the other one would be the ATC, the classics that went with this die that we showed you. And as soon as they get here, we'll get them online and show you what they are. They are online right now if you just wanted to get a peek and see what they look like. And this is the wonky letters, and they are wonky.
They are. They're not all the same, are they?
And you get more than one of your vowels.
Oh.
And you get numbers,
yeah.
Janet. Wow, I'm looking at it too.
Handy. Excuse me, that's very handy.
Oh, those are cute.
Yeah.
All right, there's a K. I always got to look for the K.
Do you think if you spelled out a word, Kelly, it would look like one of those ransom
Maybe,
titles,
maybe.
which are super fun to use
Yeah,
on a layout or
yes.
a card. Really,
I think
really
they
cute.
might.
So these are $18.99 if we didn't already say that. Love it,
All
love
right.
it. Excellent.
And then, Janet, before we get to you, I want to show this project
Oh,
because on
definitely.
Friday we have a virtual class coming up with Maggie, and it's the America the Beautiful canvas. It's a 6x8 canvas board, or is it 8x10? I'm sorry,
It sure
6x8.
looks like 6x8.
6x8.
Yeah.
And she designed this, you guys,
is
and you know
beautiful.
how amazing she is. Look at all that crumpled up
Oh my gosh.
goodness right there.
I am seeing this for the first time in person, and it is absolutely
It's
beautiful.
always better in person,
Oh my
isn't
gosh,
it?
yeah, look at all the details.
So the kit is $26.99, and it is on a. You're going to take the class in a private Facebook group, and you can watch it later if you're not available. No worries, it is available later. It'll be there. And if you don't want to, maybe you're not the type, you don't want to watch a video or participate in the class, Maggie wrote directions, so you can easily make this on your own also. We're just trying to do crafting more in 2024.
Absolutely.
And this is one way of doing it, is providing an online virtual class with Maggie.
And Kelly, I just have to ask, didn't Maggie sew this?
Maggie and I there's actually stitching on, well, there's printed stitching, and then we added real stitching, and you'll see some threads hanging, and you don't
Okay.
cut those.
This is next level, Kelly.
It is. So we did some sewing.
I think
And
this
we
is
have
awesome.
about maybe 10 of those left. So
Oh, wow.
they're great to display for, the 4th of July, but it doesn't really say 4th of July, so you could
no.
display it all summer.
Absolutely.
And Maggie reminded me that Friday is Flag Day, so it's the perfect day
It's the
to make a
perfect day.
patriotic project.
Perfect day for the class.
And Janet,
Excellent.
people are still joining us, and they're like,
Oh,
Janet?
I'm here.
Janet? Hello, Janet?
I'm here in person. It's very exciting.
She's here.
Yes.
So Janet's here, and she's launching her newest card kit, Flora, Carta Flora number 5 Everyday Cards.
Shall we
Let's
talk
do
about
it. I think
Let's do
that's
it.
where we're going
All
next.
right.
While you get situated, Janet, I'm just going to pan over these new releases from Elizabeth Crafts. They are releasing a lot of product, and it's always such a great value that I'm so happy that we are carrying their product and able to get it for everybody and for us too.
I'm definitely adding to my shopping list
Oh,
today.
Janet, we didn't turn our lights on.
Oh, golly.
See, Doug's not here today, you guys. Doug went golfing.
Well, it's a good day for
He's
that.
golfing the entire day, so we're going to turn our own lights on. We got to light us up, Janet.
Is it
And
that
it's
one?
right up here.
Yeah.
It didn't come on.
Are we plugged in?
Do you want to see if it's plugged in down there? If it isn't, then we won't worry about it. We can go one lighted. I'll try to. I don't know where the camera's going. I think.
That toggle switch?
All right, one light's plenty. We
be
don't
good.
need 2 lights.
We'll be good.
You're bright enough, Janet.
Well, I'll try to be. I definitely will try to be. Without sufficient coffee this morning, it could be dicey,
Uh-oh.
Kelly.
It's going to be scary.
But I'm super excited to be here and to introduce this kit that I worked on in Texas, and the gals here put it together for us, and it's a team effort when we do a kit,
It
a
is.
remote kit.
But we want you to keep doing them because your projects are so amazing.
Well, I thank you, Kelly. I will. I absolutely love doing this kind of thing, and this was a fun kit. So shall we go through the?
Yeah. Do you want to show each card to start out, or do you want to, and then show what you get in the kit?
Let's do that. Let's take a look at the cards, and then there are a couple of extra details I do want to talk about with the cards. This is Carta paper, which is
It's
really
beautiful.
I've always loved Carta, and the reason I love it is it has a special texture.
I know. I don't know that I can show that. I don't know that you're going to see the texture. But just believe us, it's not like a
Yes.
smooth, typical paper like all the other vendors.
It's a little, it's got a very slight
Kind
bumpy.
of classy.
Yeah. it's
Slight
a
and bumpy.
Slight bumpy. It's a little, I think, a little heavier than some paper, and it just
seems to
cuts
be.
beautifully. So anytime I can get my hands on Carta Bella, I'm totally in for that. So this particular set, I started out with some Carta Bella papers that were my favorites. I chose them, and then I had a package of ephemera, and my focus for these cards was to show everyone some different ideas for using ephemera. Because I know, Kelly, a lot of us buy ephemera.
Well, some of us buy it and don't use it.
Some of that I've heard stories.
I'm guilty.
That some of us maybe have excessive ephemera.
We might have some extras.
So
I might have a little extra.
I wanted to show some ideas that I have for using up ephemera, because I tend to be a little bit of a frugal crafter, and I like to use what I have, and I don't always do a great job of getting it all used, but a lot of times I just like to keep going until I use it all up. So that's kind of my personal challenge. So here, I actually wasn't successful completely, because there's so much ephemera.
You have quite a bit
Yeah.
left over in the kit.
Honestly, I could have kept going, Kelly, and this could have been like 3 times as many cards, probably. But you get all of these extra pieces, and there are plenty, and most of them have greetings on them.
That's what's really nice about the Flora number 5 collection, is they do have greetings.
Right. Now, sometimes you might run into a greeting that you don't think you will use, and so I have some ideas for that.
Oh, we love it. Yeah, we want to hear it.
So, but there's also a frame in this. So just remember, put a pin in that, Kelly, and just remember there is a frame in here that I did not use as a frame. So I want to show you an idea for that. So a lot of times you get pieces and you think, oh, golly, I'm not sure what to do with it. Hopefully this will jumpstart your imagination.
Well, and Janet, we have a funny comment from Letha. She says she has suitcases full.
Of ephemera?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Lisa, we better get cracking. Let's talk about, I don't know what order these cards go in, but let's just talk about the big ones. We'll talk about the big ones
first. We're going to do the big ones first? Okay.
Yeah, so this set includes 2 different sizes of cards. Most of them are what I would call A2 size. They fit in a regular A2 envelope. And then some of them are miniature cards that are A1 size. They're called note card size, and I have a particular fondness.
You do have a fondness, but what approximately, are they 3 by 5 approximately?
They're approximately like 3.5 by 5.
Okay.
Something like that.
Kind of like a photo, the old photos. Okay.
And this is my understanding from talking to the people at the post office. This is the smallest size card you can put in the mail and have it go through the mail safely.
With regular postage? Okay.
So I just love miniature cards, Kelly, and so I included 2 of them, which we will talk about in just a second. But on this card, let's talk about the frame. I mentioned the frame earlier. Here, I cut that frame into 4 pieces. I just chopped the corner, just each side. So if you just cut it, you'll get 4 lengths. That here is one idea that you can do.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect.
Use it as a little border on a tag. So here, this is just a piece of the beautiful Carta Bella paper. I included some of our favorite color vibe in this kit because it matches perfectly.
It does match really well. You can tell right there by that flower.
It's perfectly. And this is the color blush, which I think really picks up that pink color. So here I made a tag, and sometimes if you have smaller pieces of ephemera, it's nice to make a tag that kind of serves as a background or a placeholder for those smaller pieces. So here we've just got 2 pieces of ephemera kind of next door to each other, and then this one, which is serving as a fancy edge on the tag. So that's one of the cards.
It's a great idea.
So, okay, let's talk about this one. Kelly, I like to cut off parts of my cards.
Yes, you do.
I rarely can stop myself from cutting part of my card off. So here I started with an A2 size card, and I just cut off, that's probably 3/4 of an inch. You could cut off a little bit more over to the side so that you can put a border strip down the outside edge. And that way, when you open up the card, there's still something pretty. So I really love doing that. So it really jazzes up the inside and the outside of your card.
And it's kind of a wow. It's a wow.
Right. And it gives you a little bit of just a little something extra on your card. And another thing I'm going to point out here too, Kelly, on this particular piece of Carta paper, I die cut that with one of the Stitch rectangle dies. So if you have a set like this happens to be the one from My Favorite Things. This is an excellent one. This is the one that I have, but many will work just fine. Or even if you have something that's slightly different.
You can have a scalloped, maybe rectangle, or a wonky stitched, or...
Exactly. In the kit, I gave you the dimensions, so if you do not have a die set like this, that's no worries. You can just cut your paper to the dimensions or use something similar. But I do think adding a die cut element, even if it's just a rectangular shape like this, just adds so much. I think it kind of elevates the card, Kelly. And then this is ephemera, and then these two pieces are also ephemera.
Well, you've done such a good job. I don't always know how to put ephemera together like that, so that is really nice to see. You know, I think of putting one piece of ephemera on a card, but here you've used three, and it looks great.
Well, thank you. So this particular set does come with 5 pieces of ephemera, and I think a lot of times we see those and we think, oh, I've got to make a banner or something out of them, but you don't necessarily.
You don't have to make a banner.
Yeah, you can just layer them like this, and you're good to go. So let's see. Here's another one. Okay, now hopefully I can remember all the things about this one, Kelly. This one started out as an A2 card, but I cut the card base down slightly, so it's a little bit smaller than usual. It's about 4 inches by 5 1/4, so I just cut 1/4 inch off either side. And sometimes when you're using smaller pieces, it's fun to cut your card base down just a teeny bit so that you have less space to fill. And this particular piece is a frame. Can you see it there, Kelly?
It's kind of glary.
And I can't see what it says on the inside. Oh, the best memories is what it says. And I thought, you know, that's kind of hard to use on a card. It would be great for a scrapbook page. But what I did is I found another piece of ephemera, this round thank you, and I just covered it up. So these two pieces.
Good idea.
Yeah, here's two, and here's using a piece of ephemera that you might not have otherwise used. So when I look to design a card like this, I just look for all the ephemera pieces that go together color-wise, and I try to make them work on a card. So that's another idea for you.
Janet, can you take that sheet out of the plastic?
Sure.
Cindy said she loves cutting off the edges of the cards also.
Let me take out the one that has everything in it, Kelly. Are we doing a dump?
Well, we can. I guess it's Wednesday, but it just glares a lot, and I think people could see better if it wasn't in the plastic.
Of course. Okay, so here's the one we were just talking about that says the best memories. And then I just grabbed that little round piece. It's in here somewhere.
And just covered it up.
And just covered over the best memories.
That's a good idea.
You know, and here's another one. You could add this one over the top. So just looking for ways to use all these pieces, because you know what? This is pretty. All of this is pretty.
It
the
is.
only thing that was problematic was I just didn't have a way to use best memories on a card. So, and maybe there is.
I had forgotten how great this collection is, because
really
it is lends itself to card making.
It sure does, and I love having all the different words. And
yeah, so no die cutting needed.
No die cutting. Yeah. So, and then let's see if we can find that frame. Here's the frame, Kelly, that we were talking about. So it punches out.
Oh, okay.
And so if you just cut those sides, you've got 4 pieces that you can use.
That's great.
For something else. So, okay, so let's continue on. Unless there are other questions, Kelly.
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay. So this one, here's another one that I just couldn't resist cutting. I love this piece, and this is just a really nice.
That's big too.
It is large, and so what I wanted to do is kind of give it its own space, and I cut the card base so that the front is narrower, and then the inside or the left side glues down, so that you still see pretty when you open the card. And this is super easy to do. You just start out with a regular size card base, and you just make a slit from the bottom all the way up to the fold, and then you stop cutting there. And that's what creates the smaller card front. I always call these a split front card. I just made that up.
I
Kelly.
like that, split front. That's
Yeah.
good, though. It describes it perfectly.
So if you have a larger piece of ephemera, this is a good way to use it, kind of give it its own space. I cut this piece a little narrower so that the ephemera piece could hang off, but you could cut it a little wider so that it totally accommodates that ephemera piece. And then I did another trick that I like to do. If I don't have anything to fill a space, sometimes your good old circle punch is just what you need.
It's your friend.
It is. And these are 3/4 inch circles. So if you've got that or a similar size punch, I will have you punch those to put on your card. Most people have a similar size punch to this. And then I've just got them popped up. And again, that is made with the Color Vibe.
And that's nice because it's a horizontal card versus all the vertical cards.
Okay, let's see. All right, this is another one that I usually try to include because I just love, and maybe this is not the way to say it, Kelly, a strip card, but I like to make it with the scraps of paper that I have left. And typically,
Oh, it looks great.
Well, thank you. When I'm done with making a set of cards, I look at what I have left, and oftentimes you can create a strip card. You could make more strip cards and use up some of the extra pieces of ephemera that you have in the kit.
Sure. Or
Yeah.
even if you need more paper, you could match up other paper
Well,
to those.
exactly. Yeah, this is a great way to. You don't have to have a lot of design. Nothing really fancy, but just the strips of color will do the trick. But here, just to fancy it up a little bit, I started with a white piece of paper, added the strips to it, and then I die cut the whole thing with my stitched rectangle die. Which, what I like about this, Kelly, is it gives a nice finished edge, and it just looks so clean,
Right.
and tidy when you put it on the front of your card. So that is it's just one of my favorite cards, and I just couldn't help but include one in this particular set.
Well,
and I didn't mention enamel dots, Kelly. There are
I
also
know we
enamel dots.
haven't really talked about what you get in the kit.
Yeah, but there are enamel
We
dots.
did have a suggestion here that if you don't have the circle punch, but maybe you have a heart or a little flower punch, you could put another shape there too. It doesn't have to
Absolutely.
be circles.
Absolutely. And Kelly, here's one that's this is wild and crazy for me, Kelly. But on this one, I had a few pieces of ephemera that I used. So this is ephemera. This is ephemera. This, and this. So there's like 5 pieces of ephemera on here. So the back one is this piece, but I rotated it so it was upside down so I could see the particular flowers that I wanted to show.
Oh, tricky.
And this is another example. I love this sentiment, but it was a little hard for me to use this on
For a card, yeah.
Right. So my solution is to use it, but cover up part of it, cover up the text part, but still see the pretty flowers. That was my idea there. And this one, okay.
My gosh.
I'm out of control, Kelly. I decided to
Flipped
use
it over
the
and
back
used the
side.
white.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I did not catch that
Yeah.
at all.
And you could use the front side, but it didn't work quite with this color scheme on the card. But I did like the shape.
There you go.
And so I just used the shape. And then here, for these little punch dots, I wanted just a little something of this kind of periwinkle color. So, Kelly, I didn't have anything. I just got out my circle punch, and I just punched 2 little half circles from this Happy Day piece of ephemera.
Teresa does that with ephemera a lot. She punches things or stamps on things. And
Why not, right? You're
That's
using
right.
it. It doesn't have to be used in its original form. And there's another half of that frame. So
now, if you're just joining us, Janet's here today in person, and she's launching her latest card kit, the Carta Bella Flora number 5 Everyday Cards. And what she's showing us now, you get all of this in your kit. So, and we're going to show you what's in the kit here shortly. I think we have 2 cards
we
to
do.
show.
2 more
Two more cards to show you, and then we'll talk about the kit,
Right.
and you have some tips for us,
I
other than
do.
what you've shared a lot already, Janet.
I
but-
do, yeah. Now, these last two cards are what I call the miniature cards, and they are the A1 size cards. And they're going to fit in an A1 envelope, and I do think I have one here, just perfectly. So this is, as I understand from the post office, again, the smallest size that you can put through the mail. It's called a note card size, and I just love this size. So to make this, I start with an A2 card base. So this is what it starts.
And she just cuts
and
it
I
down.
just cut it down.
And this is all in the instructions,
Yes,
right, Janet?
Yes,
so
absolutely. So super easy. The dimensions on this card, I kind of made this up, Kelly. As long as it fits in the envelope, I think
that's all you care about, right?
That's all I care about. So you could probably make it a little bit longer, but when I make these cards, I typically make them 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And the reason I go for that 3 1/4, is then if you happen to be using a cut-apart, the cut-aparts are typically 3 by 4.
Yeah.
They fit perfectly on the front of a card like that. So that's the size that I went with. It. You can kind of do your own thing as long as it fits in the envelope. But
That's
for this
important.
set, yes. Who amongst us has made a card
I think
that doesn't
many of
fit
us
in the
have made
envelope?
a card that didn't fit in an envelope.
Yeah, so for this one, I thought I'm going to make this card in a way that I've made A2 cards by making a split front card. So once I had sized it down to 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, I just measured down like 1 1/4 or so from the top, and then I cut across and I stopped at the fold, and I glued that part down, and then I just covered that piece at the top with that beautiful colored Carta paper. And I sized down then the greeting to fit perfectly in that space. But I just love the smaller size, Kelly, and it's just like a miniature
It's cute.
version
Yeah,
of what we
I think
do.
it's cute.
So that's that one. And then, because I
Got an
couldn't
easel
help myself,
card.
I decided to make a small easel card. And I'm not sure if I've ever done this for a kit, but it started out the same size as the one I just showed you before, 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So it does fit in the small size envelope. And for this one, once you cut the card base down, all you have to do is fold the front in half or score it down the middle to create that little mountain. And we've made a lot of easel cards before. This is done in the same way. But what I thought was fun was just the small size. The other thing that I did that was different on this card is with the Carta paper, I used my diagonal corner punch, which I absolutely love.
So that is this product. It's $11.99. It's from We Are. I've been using it too, Janet. It's on my desk, so I just use it
all the time.
And I use the bigger size more than the others. I don't know if that's the big slant there.
I think this is the middle
medium
size. Yeah, I have used all of the sizes, and you'll see in my instructions I showed you how I've numbered them, which Katie influenced me to do so that I don't get confused. But I absolutely love it. Even if you have tag dies, this is just super handy to have, because here I used it for a different application. So this piece here stands up past what I call the mountain, but when you mail it, it folds flat. But this is one of those, if you're sending it to a non-card maker, you might want to just include a little hint that it does stand up. So here, because this was a small card, I thought I better find a place to put my sentiment, right? And so I made the sentiment into the stopper. So you'll cut out this piece and put foam dots underneath it, and that's what makes your card stand up. If you don't have something that's popped up for your stopper, your card won't stand up. So here's the other thing that I did differently, Kelly. The back side is normally where I would put my greeting, but it's kind of small. So check this out.
Okay, let's see.
Oh,
there it is.
Which I thought, there's no reason why it can't be on the bottom.
And we didn't mention it, but you're going to get all of these custom designed greetings and inserts in your kit, and they're available on their own also.
Sure. I thought long and hard. Should I put it on the bottom? I think it works fine on the bottom because you can still display the card and you really don't lose anything. And the sentiment is down
and
to the
sometimes
bottom.
your sentiment might be personal.
Right. So the back remains clean, or you could put a piece of extra paper on the back. But the sentiment is on the bottom. It gives you a little bit more room.
It looks good. I really like it. Just this whole set of cards. There's a lot of comments about how beautiful they are.
Oh,
and,
thank you.
And you've done a nice job, Janet.
Thank you. I did make, and golly, it's been maybe a year or so, another set of cards that some of you might remember with a different part of this Carta Flora 5 collection. And the cards were totally different.
It's a sister card kit.
Yes.
This
the
is
cards,
the sister
what
to
I
it.
love about this collection is it's a whole set of paper, but you can almost divide them up into 3 colorways or color schemes. And so I had separated out some to use on the previous kit, and I used the other pieces on this one. So
Well, they're really pretty.
Well,
So
thank
are you
you.
going to show us what we get in
Let's-
the kit?
let's do
So
it,
we
yes.
saw the cards, all 8 cards, and now Janet's going to show us what you get in the card kit. So
Yes.
you'll know that you get what you need.
Absolutely. So we always include detailed instructions, and sometimes, if necessary, there is a cutting guide. And in this case, there is a really simple cutting guide. The cutting is super easy. It indicates what the paper is you need to cut, and it tells you where to make your first cut. So, for instance, this is a piece of large floral paper with stitches on the back. You'll make your first cut at 3 inches like this, and then it tells you what card that piece is for.
You got it down, Janet.
Well, Kelly, we're trying. So what I would suggest when you're making this kit, you just take a Post-it note and you just mark your pieces and then stack them up for each card. And then you'll be all good to go when it's time to make your cards. So at the top of the kit, it tells you the supplies that you need to make the kits. You're going to need a trimmer, your fine tip scissors. There are a couple of cards that have some easy fussy cutting, but not a big deal. The diagonal corner punch, which Kelly showed earlier, a regular corner punch, kernel punch. And then the circle punches that I used were a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and 1 1/4. But you can fudge those a little bit. That doesn't matter. Or if you have dies or other shapes, you can look at how I use them and see. For instance, here is one of the 1 1/4 inch punches. If you've got something similar, it's totally fine. So.
Well, I'm glad that you're using kind of basic, like
Yes.
circles, and like Diana had mentioned in the comment earlier, you could use a heart or a flower,
Exactly.
or whatever you might have.
Yes, exactly. So you're going to need some liquid adhesive, some foam tape or dots, and then in terms of Nuvo drops, I couldn't help myself. I did get into my bottle green Nuvo drops. I just felt like some of the cards needed a little green, and I did not have green enamel dots.
You didn't? Oh,
No.
enamel dots. Okay.
Yes.
Now, Janet, we pulled olive branch and bottle green because it appears that bottle green is being discontinued, possibly.
Oh, Kelly, who do
I
I
know.
call?
I don't know. So we did pull out olive branch. We thought that was a really
Yes,
good match.
It is. I have that at home too, and I actually looked at that when I
And
was
we didn't
making
really
these
point it
cards.
out, but I just want to show you here on the card where
Yes.
she used the Nuvo drops.
Yes, and you can see olive branch would be totally fine with this. There are actually multiple shades of green in this collection. So yeah, that's a great match. Or if you've got something that's kind of in the pink family, that would work too.
Yeah.
So just look at the cards and see what you've got. And I don't think I mentioned that there is a half portion of enamel dots included in the kit, and you're still going to have extras.
You're going to have extras.
Yeah.
So let me just point out, we've got enamel dots here, and we've got them on that card, and up here.
I used a lot of enamel dots, and I like to use different sizes. So I try to use like a small, medium, and large every time I use them. But I somehow ended up with extra enamel dots. But I added in a little bit of green Nuvo drops just because I love green. Couldn't help myself.
Green's a favorite of a lot of people.
It sure is. So different kinds of adhesive that you will need. You know, the foam dots, liquid adhesive. And then the rest of the stuff is just your Post-it notes and your pencil. And then if you have, again, like we mentioned before, any kind of a stitched rectangle die, this is a great opportunity to use it. Or if you haven't bought one yet.
I think I need one.
is a
I don't
good
think I
reason.
have one, Janet. I think I'm going to get
Kelly,
myself
oh,
one.
absolutely you do. I use my stitched rectangle die all the time. And I've used it for both scrapbooking and card making.
Now, if you're interested in the circle punches, we do have them. And Janet mentioned the 1/2 inch. These are from EK Success. This is $6.99. And the nice thing is they're kind of a lever punch. So, or they're not kind of, they are a lever punch. So they're easy to punch. They don't hurt your fingers. And then here is the 3/4 inch. And then here's the one, what'd you say, 1 1/4?
1 1/4, yeah. And what I love about these, Kelly, to piggyback onto what you said, is they store flat.
Oh yeah, good add-on.
Yeah, and you can
stack them.
or you can even stand them up because the end has the number on them, so
you don't have to see them.
Right, it's really a handy design. I really like that. So back to the instructions. You're going to get instructions that have all the cutting guide and measurements on them, and then each card is separate with its own set of here's what you need, and then the steps to make it. So, and occasionally there will be an extra picture or diagram.
And Janet's got little boxes so you can check them off as you go. That's
Yes.
always fun, isn't it?
If you're like me, you love to check boxes. So yeah, I started using those, Kelly. Thank you for noticing.
I did notice.
And then we have color photos of each card with a main picture and sometimes a little detailed picture. And so this will keep you on the right track. And then the back side as well. So, and then in the rest of your kit, let's talk about what we've included for you. Kelly mentioned the greetings.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And we've got 2 sheets of greetings this time. We have a craft sheet and a white sheet. I kind of like the craft with this collection for whatever. I like craft with everything. Craft goes with everything.
So we didn't really show the inside. Can you get one of your cards and just show how this?
Absolutely.
So you'll see how she's got this. Here's to a beautiful day, and it's on this paper right here.
Yeah. And then.
And Janet has said in the
heart
past,
happy.
if you don't want to use these, you could stamp the inside, you could flip these over and use the back and stamp on it or write your message.
Right.
But a lot of people come in, Teresa was just talking about this, they're like, what do I put inside my cards?
Yeah.
And so this is fit perfectly to fit in there, and here you go.
Yeah, and so forth.
And the fonts and everything are always just so nice. And this is in your kit. If you want an extra one or you only want this one, these are available on their own. They're $4.99.
And Kelly, because I had extra space on these pieces, I did
You
give
got
everyone some
bonus?
extra pieces. So I gave you a few extra pieces of craft and then a couple extra pieces on this one. So if you're making extra cards with this collection or something else.
So you're getting a lot on those sheets.
If I've got extra room, Kelly, you know I'm going to do it.
Well, we want you to.
I'm going to do it because I like to use my space. And then you're going to get, of course, the Cartabella paper, which is beautiful.
It is really pretty.
So these pieces correspond to what you will see on your cutting guide. So if it mentions the 12x4 large floral with red stitches, this is it. And so this is the one that you're going to cut with that particular diagram. So here are the Cartabella papers, and they're pretty on both sides.
Oh, they are.
I just love them.
The colors are really nice.
And then our favorite, Color Vibe.
This was Janet's blue ribbon product a few years ago when all
it
when all the staff had picked out their
was.
favorite thing. This Color Vibe cardstock was Janet's.
It was mine. And you know what I love about it, Kelly? It just adds a little something extra to your cards. It's not, I love cardstock. Believe me, I do love my cardstock. But because of that small little tone-on-tone dot, it just adds a little extra, what they call visual texture.
You'll see that right here.
Yeah. It's just a little bit more exciting than
A
plain
little
cardstock.
more exciting.
It just adds that extra little detail.
Well, and Janet, just to backpedal a little bit, although that's usually negative, but this is positive. So Heidi mentioned that she loves your inserts, and I just want to let people know that we have all kinds of inserts that Janet has designed. And if you go to memorybound.com and go to shopping and then go to Memorybound exclusives, it's a category, and you'll find a category in there that's all of our own personal printable items that we have that are printed on, laser printed on Basel cardstock.
And I'm really glad for the positive feedback that we've received about the inserts.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. Sometimes I know it's really hard to figure out what to put on the inside of a card or even on the outside of a card, and maybe you don't have quite the right stamp set for it. This doesn't take away from your stamping, but sometimes you just need something quick and easy, and this will do the trick. And these will, I'll just point out too, Kelly, most of these inserts will work, you know, with other cards that you
Right, because here's to a beautiful day, or you make me happy. And Janet, you could also, if you just want this phrase, you don't have to use the full, you know, if you're getting it for something else, you could just take that off.
Right, or if you don't like that, you know, you can put a piece of ephemera
Oh,
over the
there you
top.
go.
Or, you know, use it for a different card or flip it over and use the back side. So we're very flexible on those.
Janet, is this kit $34.99? We just had a question. I think it is.
I believe it is, Kelly. Yes.
It's this kit is $34.99 for 8 cards, and Janet's directions and everything she's showing us right now.
Everything that you need. Then there are all the card bases, which we've talked about. All of these cards start out as the A2 size. 2 of them you're going to cut down to the miniature size.
Janet's fave.
And some of them you're going to cut, like I said, for the split front card, or you're going to cut the side off of one card. But they all start out as an A2 card. And I think if you're making cards at home, this is probably the most efficient way to make a smaller size card, to just start with a card base.
Well, that's pre-scored. You know, sometimes when I score cards, I don't know about you, but they fold kind of wonky.
Yeah.
So these should be scored in a perfect place, as long as you cut them right, I guess.
Exactly. And then you have your envelopes too. So you're going to have enough of the large size envelopes and then 2 of the small size envelopes that work for the
And Memory Bound always includes envelopes in our kit, so you don't have to worry about scrounging up envelopes.
I think that's such a nice feature. And then we already talked about the enamel dots. These are perfectly colored for your cards, and you will have extras left over. And I think I brought my extras, Kelly, so everybody can see.
Oh, yeah, you've got quite a few.
That darker pink I did not use, but it's a great color, and I think it would work on so many other things. I didn't really have a lot of purple with this particular set of cards, but these are all great colors that you will definitely use. And we've already talked about the ephemera, but you'll have a lot of
Look at her leftover ephemera.
So,
Well, it starts out with 33 pieces in the ephemera pack, so you used a lot of them, but
I did.
there's a lot left over.
Not quite all, but shall we cut
What's this little thing,
Oh,
Janet?
and this is a little piece of greenery, but it's not green.
It's greenery. It's pink greenery.
Pinkery. Can we say
Pinkery? Yeah, I like that.
To fit on one of your cards. So,
And this is for
this is for one of the die cuts on the front. So this one, you're just
Oh,
gonna
to cut a
this-
rectangle.
Yeah, you're just
Okay.
gonna cut that down.
Perfect.
So yeah, every piece hopefully is accounted for, Kelly.
Well, Janet does a wonderful job with her kits, and we have kitted these and double-checked them to make sure everything is there. When you open it, be cautious of your little greenery, or what did we call it? Pinkery. Watch your pinkery so it doesn't, fall out or you lose it, because it is in the bag on its own, living its own life. So just watch for that when you open up your kit. And they were $34.99, and they are limited because we did not have a lot of this Carta product, so we could only make a certain number of kits. So if you love it, just don't wait too long. I don't want you to be disappointed that you didn't get one of Janet's kits.
All right, Kelly.
All right.
And is there anything else that we need to cover?
Let's see if we have any questions. I think we're good. Are we
Okay.
good?
I think
We're good? Well, Janet, it's been a pleasure having you here today
Kelly, thank you
for
so
our
much.
video. Jean says she loves it, and she thinks the pricing is amazing. Jackie loves all your kits.
Oh, thank you.
You make it look easy to look good.
Yes, and Jackie, thank you. I try to make things easy for people because I want everybody to be successful, and I think that's what we want for everyone.
And people are saying safe travels.
Well, thank you.
And Mary from Maine gave you many, many hearts.
Oh, I learned how to do this.
There you go. We all learned that from Caitlin Clark, if we didn't know it before, right?
Right.
They say it's great to see you. Thank you. Wendy Jean was kind of excited when she popped on and saw that you were here. I think everybody is.
I tell you what, it is great to be around my memory bound peeps.
Well, I think we love it too. We're probably not going to get a lot done this morning.
Well,
because Janet's here and we all want to visit with her and see her and everything. So, well, thank you, Janet. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And we're going to be back tomorrow morning. And we'll be back here at 9:30 a.m. just like today. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Right.
Did you watch Batman as a kid, Janet?
You know, I didn't, but Kelly, I recognize the phrase. And I have to give a shout out to our friend Cheryl for her substitute linking and drinking. And I appreciate you more than you know, Cheryl. Thank
we
you
all
so
do.
much.
We all do. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
So everybody send a big hearts to Cheryl and thumbs up because that was really nice.
I will not be back for linking and drinking tomorrow because we will be still
She'll be
making
on
our
the
way
road.
home. But
Well, we'll have it on the calendar too. You can find things on our calendar.
yes, you will see me on Friday.
And
though.
Janet, before we go, I have to tell you that Doug is golfing all day today, and I thought he was leaving around 7 or 7:30, but when my alarm went off at 6 something, he was totally gone. And I was like, gosh, they're golfing early. And then I got to work, and he left a note that he realized he didn't have anything on the calendar today. So he must have got up around, I don't know, 5:30 or 6 and came to Memory Bound before he went golfing and got all this loaded on the calendar.
What a good
So I know, isn't that sweet?
Oh my gosh, he's
So
a keeper.
hopefully he will have a good round today.
Yes.
So everyone, I hope you all have a good round today also, and thanks for joining us. And again, a huge shout out to Janet for visiting us in person and having another awesome card kit. So we'll see you tomorrow, everyone. Have a crafty day.